Hi, my name is Dr. Kay Sweetser from the University of Georgia, and I've got a couple of tips for you today about networking. In the business world, having a memorable impression last long after a conversation is very important. One way that you can make that impression last long beyond the conversation itself is, well, business cards. There are lots of different types of cards that you could use. You could use a Moo card where you're printing off cards from your Flickr photo set. You could design your own card and logo and print it off using paper from any office store. Or you could use your business company card as well. Through all the years that I've seen business cards, there's one particular card that has stood out as really being memorable and making an impact. I'd like to share that story with you.
This came from my father years ago. He had a card like this. One of his clients gave to him, and he showed it to me when I was in his office. And I said, "That's kind of interesting to have," and I gave it back to him. And he says, "No," he says, "you hang on to it." And as I think I told you earlier, I probably still have the original card that looks like this in a box in my basement. And when it came time to do my latest incarnation, the latest incarnation of my card, I knew what had to go on the front. What had to go on the front was homage to my father, who passed away from cancer about 8 years ago. So I put this on the front of the card. And on the back of the card, I decided that less is more. And I put as little as possible. I used to have all kinds of information about my business and my physical address, etc. All I did was put on my name, which is built into my email, the pronunciation of my last name, which is both difficult and a conversation piece, and my phone number. And as you can see, it's all on the bottom line, so financial types appreciate that. The box is there for people to write whatever information they want. Clearly, I'm outside of the box. The card itself is, when I went to have it printed, I said, I want a card that when I hand it to someone, they know that I'm handing them a card and not a tissue. So they printed it on 105 or 120-pound paper. Anything heavier than this would be cardboard. And it's also a very smooth finish, so people can write on it because folks still tend to do that with business cards. And that, okay, in a nutshell, is the story of my business card.
Great story, wasn't it? Here's the little tip if you don't have the freedom to create your own unique creative business card. One of the things that I do when I'm receiving a lot of business cards or giving out a lot of mine at an event is I take a pen out and I jot down on the back a little prompt about our conversation or reminder as to why I was talking to someone, so that when they get my business card out amongst all the other business cards that they had collected that day at the event, they remember what we talked about or maybe why they wanted to contact me again in the future. Vice versa. If I receive someone's business card at an event, I'll write down what was interesting about them on the back of their business card so that I can remember why I wanted the card in the first place. It really helps. So there you have it. Bottom line, be creative with your business card so that later when people are looking at the card, they can make that connection between you and the card and remember who you are. Remember how you can leave this lasting impression with people just by using a little bit of creativity.